Hi everybody, this is Abby with Scrap and Abby, and I have a really fun project to share with all of you, and something that means a lot to me and is very close to my heart. I was one of the lucky participants to participate in the May Arts Nautical Craft Challenge, and the 4 ribbons that I chose to work with, I'll show them to you guys before I get started on the project. The first one is the solid stripes. This is just so beautiful. I love this trim. And then I chose the burlap cord, just right here. That's a lot of fun to work with, very versatile. And then the solid with diagonal stripes. I think that's a really pretty blue. I like that one a lot too. And then the last one is the metallic chain cord. So these are the 4 ribbons that I chose to work with in trims for this project. And since it's a nautical craft challenge, the idea I submitted to Bethany was to create a shadow box, kind of a mixed media piece using photos of my dad who was in the Navy. And there's a photo from here, and then I have one up here. And my mom had given me some copies of some photos of him when he was in uniform. So I wanted to kind of create a memorial and just kind of a way to honor my dad for his service to our country. He was in the Navy, as I mentioned, and he served in the Korean War. And so I have one of his medals down here. So in addition to the photos that I have here and the medal, all of the different buttons you guys are going to see throughout the project, those are all from my grandma and from a really cool vintage, huge tin of buttons that she had given me. So this project just really screams a lot of family history, has a lot of personal meaning to me, and it was a lot of fun to work on this. So I'm very thankful that Bethany liked my idea enough to allow me to create this and to share with everybody for the project and the challenge. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. What I use for the base of the shadow box is one of the boxes from Tim Holtz. It's a configuration box, and I'll go ahead and kind of start in this upper corner here for you guys. I'll try not to move it too crazily. This Ship Ahoy that you see is actually snipped from a piece of sheet music I picked up at an antique store. And there's a photo of my dad in his military, or his Navy. I think they called him blues. I'm not sure. I don't want to say their improper term for it and offend anybody. And so you can see along the word here, I have some of that really pretty metallic gold chain right there to the chain cord. And then I have the solid stripe trim that's wrapping around that picture. And then there's one of the vintage buttons I was telling you guys about. This is really cool. This is like fish netting, and you can see it down here in the corner too. I picked this up on the coast a couple years ago, and I chose to put a few metal word pieces in here, inspire, because my dad did inspire me. And this is just a piece of a vintage map that I printed off on the internet. And you can see tucked back here some more of that striped ribbon. I really wanted to use it as layers and textures throughout the project, so I kind of tried to incorporate it as much as I could in the little shadow box. And then I have just a little map back here in the background, and I took another one of the smaller configuration boxes, flipped it over, and this is another one of the vintage buttons. And it was so cool because I just happened to have quite the variety of nautical themed anchor buttons in that big tin of buttons I have. There's some that are plastic, some are metal. It's just been a lot of fun to kind of go through that. Here you can see some more of that striped the solid with diagonal stripes trim there. And then this is my version of making like the Navy rucksack. Like my dad had one of those, and my mom still has it. So I used some more of that ribbon to kind of make an anchor. And then I have another vintage button. This is a plastic one with the blue anchor on it. And then I took another button, and this one's a metal one, and I just attached it on here, and it also has the anchor. You can see that there. And I thought that was just kind of cool because there are pictures of my dad with his Navy, rucksack or, naval sea bag. And then I took one of the configuration boxes, flipped it up, added some more of that diagonal stripe, solid stripe ribbon here, added the metal word father, because that is my dad. And then I have the word cherish, because I do cherish him. And then I framed his photo with more of that metallic chain cord. This is one of the medals I was telling you guys about. My mom has a story behind, how we got this and everything, but you can see on there, it's for fleet activities when he was in, I hope I say this right, Yokosuka, Japan. So I wanted to do that, and I just added some more of that solid stripe just to kind of mimic that ribbon that you have on medals when they clip them to the, to the heroes, to their uniforms. And then I have just some more of the vintage buttons right there. It looks like this, I almost said the steering wheel. The you know, off the ships, the, you know, the big, how they steer the ships. And I can't believe it's slipping my mind what that's called, so I apologize. And then I just have, you know, seashell, and then this little glass jar with some more seashells inside, wrapped it with some more of that really pretty solid with the diagonal stripes ribbon there. And then just a piece of driftwood. I actually got this from the Oregon coast, which is where I live in Oregon. And if you can kind of look, you can kind of see, maybe I can't get a very good shot, I apologize. There's actually still some sand on there from when I picked it up at the beach. I thought it was kind of cool to add that element. And this is just another vintage image of a lighthouse that I printed off the internet. Here's another one of the little metal buttons, the anchor on it, and this little box here has another seashell. This is just some sand in another one of the little glass jars, and the little picture of a map in the background. And this one here is probably one of my favorite pieces I put on here. I try to make this look like the pillars you would find like on a pier on the, you know, at the ocean or at a boat dock or something like that. The cardstock in the back is kind of mimicking the waves. And then this is where I really use a lot of that burlap cord, is to wrap around the tops and the bottoms, and then to kind of wrap the three pillars together. And then I'll tell you guys, my kids couldn't guess what I used to make these. This is some paper, it's cardstock that you're seeing. It looks like wood, but what's the round items are actually different sizes of these glass vial jars. And so I thought that was kind of cool idea to, because it was perfect. And I was like, oh, I can just wrap it around that and stick it in there. So that's what I used for that. So this is the project, and I hope you guys like it. And I tried not to go too fast with this. But this just really means a lot to me. This is something I'm going to be sharing with my mom. My dad passed away when I was 18. And I'm 40 now, so he's been, you know, gone for a little while, but I still miss him every day. And so it just means a lot to be able to, you know, kind of have like a little monument and to my dad, and just to kind of pay some respect to him. And look at this when it's hanging on the wall, and just remember my dad and all the stories he told us when we were growing up of him being in the Navy, and all the different souvenirs and mementos that myself and my siblings all have of him. So I just wanted to, again, share with you guys the different trims that we use for the challenge. I just think the May Arts ribbons and trims are just wonderful to use. They're beautiful, and they're so versatile. So I just wanted to try to incorporate them again in the project throughout in different ways, as far as, oh, let me show you down here. You probably can't see, but I layered some more of the two different ribbons on the back there, just kind of as a backdrop. So it's kind of a little peek through when you're looking at it on the wall. So I, again, thank you guys for watching the video and letting me share a little bit of my family history with all of you. And I'll see you guys next time. Happy crafting!